Hello. Thank you for joining Everyday Life and Finance with Robbie. I'm Robbie. Today I'd like to talk to you about a subject that happens all too much. You want to make certain that when things happen to you, things happen. I'm speaking specifically on career and finance today. Things happen in your career, maybe on your job that you don't like. Do not act emotionally and do something that will affect your finances. That's what I'm here to talk about today. Not being emotional and making certain that you have a plan when something is taking place at work that you don't agree with, that is unfair to you. I want to make certain that you understand what you should do and how to handle it. You know, the first thing I say is when something happens, zip it. Keep quiet, listen, and see what happens, and don't, give it an immediate reaction. That's definitely something you should not do. And also be careful with your colleagues. Don't speak to them about it. You can speak in general terms, but don't let them know how you're feeling about it because, there are always people that will talk a little bit too much. And sometimes that could affect you negatively. So if something happens, let's say someone gets promoted over you and you were carrying most of the workload, doing everything, keeping, the team together, and, someone else is promoted. Stay quiet, don't show any reaction. I'm not saying, kiss any butts or anything like that. I know some people think when you're staying quiet, you're basically saying that I agree to it and you're allowing someone to walk over you. No, that's not the case. You just can't react. When it happens, take a few moments, take the afternoon off, take the next day off or something along those lines, and just take some time just to think about what your plan is and how you're going to react to what has happened to you, and it should not be about being vindictive or getting back at your employers or anything like that. It should be what's best for you. Focus on what's going to be best for you. Do not get so, emotional that you decide to leave your job immediately because this was so unfair, because then you're letting someone get in your pockets and you can't do that. You shouldn't let someone get into your pockets. No matter how much it hurts you, you want to do what's going to have the best, result for you. Not them. You're not aiming to hurt them or anything like that. They may get hurt in the process, if you decide to leave, but you should immediately set up a plan. So let's say you're having some difficulties at work and, you have a new manager. The manager is being totally unfair to you. Figure your way out, even if it's making a lateral move, even if it's making, the decision to leave for a job that pays a little less temporarily. You're still, as long as you're able to survive off of that lower salary, that's fine. Take it, for the time being, if it means that, it will take you out of an uncomfortable situation. Do not go to HR and complain about, why you were overlooked or the way the manager's treating you or anything like that. HR is not your friend. So I just want to make certain that when these things happen, you protect your finances. You don't want to do anything that forces you to go into your savings, to go into your investments, to liquidate your investments. You don't want to do anything like that. You just want to plan your exit. And plan it with a smile. Be silent. Don't say anything. When asked, oh, what do you think about the changes? Just say, if that's best for the company, then so be it. Just give general, broad answers, but nothing that shows your discontent. Nothing. Give them nothing at all. Nothing but silence and a smile, and continue to do your work. Continue to do what you're supposed to do, but give no extra. do what you're supposed to do while you're working through your plan. So that's one thing you should focus on. I know I worked with a guy a few years back, and he was overlooked. They brought someone in over him, and he immediately just quit. That same day they announced it, he quit. And I was like, wow, that's a boss move and whatever. And I'm like, I need to get myself into a position where if something like that happened, I can do the same. And maybe that works for some people. It worked for him because he had, other businesses outside of the company. He had the funds to do that. He didn't need to allow them to take advantage. And, his finances, while they were impacted because, one stream of his income, went away, he was going to be fine. So he was able to do that. But if you can't do that and your finances aren't going to be secure, that you're not going to have to go into your savings, don't do that. It may look like a boss move, but if it's going to affect you negatively, don't do it. You want to make certain that you protect your pockets and just focus on you, reaching out to people, in your industry to find other opportunities. And again, it could be a lateral move. It may be for slightly less pay, but just focus on, in the meantime, this is what I'm going to do. If you feel as though you don't want to be taken for granted, or you're happy with the decision that the company's made, just plan your exit and figure your way out. Do not let this affect your financial position. Okay, so that's all for this episode of Everyday Life and Science. Everyday Life and Finance. I don't know why I said science. Everyday Life and Finance with Robbie. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.